So here we are. I'm sitting down with a legend in my life. So I have been in a very cool group with this guest today for a long time, but we've only met in person once, and that was a few years ago in Kona. I'm so excited to bring you. As you heard, this gal has done a lot of really cool shit. And we're going to talk about what was and what's to come with Yvonne Spencer. Welcome, Yvonne, or as I call you, Vaughn.
I appreciate that.
Welcome. I'm really glad that you're going to chat with us today. And I think that you have so much to bring to the table. Your experience has been incredible in your career, both in your career with the Air Force, but also in your career with sport. And you're taking that to a whole new level, which I'm really excited to talk about today too. So welcome. How's it going in your world of retirement?
Oh my goodness. I am finally at that stage where I'm enjoying it. I'm beginning to understand what it means to be retired. And so I like to tease my friends whenever they ask me if I'm available to do something. I'm like, "Oh, let me check my calendar." And they know damn well there's nothing on my calendar. So this is it's been good. It's been a
Yeah.
good time.
Well, and I imagine that you and your friend group, like you're probably the only one that's retired because you retired really young.
I
So
am.
that's got to be interesting as well.
It is. It is. Because I want to talk to people, around 11 o'clock or 12, and they're like, look, Vaughn, we have jobs. We have to go to work. I'm like, okay.
All right.
All right. I'll find something else to do.
You've
Um,
definitely found other things to do because I've seen
yes.
your social. You have been here, there, and everywhere. I want to go back just for a moment. You've got this really incredible background with the Air Force. And I'm just curious because I don't know the answer to this. Like, what motivated you to join the Air Force? And then, like at the same time, what kept you motivated to stay? You were there for a long time.
I was a really long time.
Yes. Is it 30 years?
30 years active duty. And then I count my time at the Air Force Academy
Oh,
towards it.
okay.
So I just pull it all together 35 years total
Yeah.
time of wearing the uniform, doing what I was told to do when I was told to do it and how I was told to do it. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, retirement was a long time coming. But I got interested in the Air Force when I was in high school. I
Okay.
did the junior ROTC, the Reserve Officer Training Corps program in high school. And my instructors they were very, I won't say forceful, but they were adamant that I apply to one of the service academies.
Hmm.
And so they helped me with the application that needed to process through. I got an internship at a senator because you have to get an appointment from a congressional appointment. So through either your senator or representative of Congress. And so they set me in a really good space to have all the pieces and parts together for my application to the academy.
Wow.
So when I got accepted to the preparatory school,
Okay.
which is an extra year. And I did not want to do that extra year. I wanted to just get to college and get started right away. And my family and my instructors convinced me that, hey, no, just go to the prep school. It's only a year. You get paid for that year of going to the prep school. All you have to do is focus on your academics, get your SAT scores up, and next thing I know, I'm meeting really fantastic people and I'm getting this opportunity and the discipline that was associated with the Air Force Academy, it just fit. It fit me well. It allowed me to really thrive in that environment. And got my commission in 1994. Oh my gosh. And from then on, I just got these incredible opportunities,
Uh-huh.
meeting people, different places. Throughout my career, I had about 15 moves. So yeah, it fit me. I was really absorbed into it, and I felt like I was doing just a part of that big thing that we
Uh-huh.
want to be a part of.
Uh-huh.
And 35 years later, here I am.
So was that your personality the whole time? Were you outgoing, or was like that something that you grew into? Because that's you traveling a lot, moving around a lot, meeting a lot of people, being out there like that. Was that always you?
It was me being outgoing. I remember growing up and my parents said that whatever was coming along, whatever opportunity, playing a clarinet, marching in a band, singing in the choir, just I was always out there doing these things. And my parents afforded me that. They never really said no, of course, unless I was going to hurt myself, but
Uh-huh.
they allowed me to do these things. And so I was able to find my way and just, I guess, just prosper in that environment. So,
Ah, yes. And
yeah,
then that
it's
took you
cool.
in because you did become colonel, right?
I did. I
Yeah.
did.
Like holy leadership. And I guess,
Yeah.
like that's something that came in the Air Force. Like they're teaching leadership skills all throughout, right?
They have the textbook
Okay.
leadership,
Oh,
but you really learn it through, I'm going to say, trial and error,
okay.
of different organizations, different people demanding different things from you, and just really building your platform or your legacy as a leader. Like,
Hmm.
what are you known for? And that really comes into play because as I moved around in each job, there was always that phone tree of like, okay, have you met Major Spencer? Have you met Colonel Spencer? What is she like? What does she do? Da, da, da. So your personality, your precedence, it goes in front of you. So
Uh-huh.
if you have a bad reputation, then it's going to follow you, and
Yeah,
you really
you're
have to.
screwed.
Yeah, you're screwed. You're
Yeah.
screwed until they get to know you, and then by that time it's time to move on. So
Uh-huh.
you really have to begin to build your legacy early on for what type of leader, or what will your brand be,
Mm.
as you progress in your career.
Which is interesting because that seems to be just recent, like in the
It's
last couple of
recent,
years,
but
the branding of yourself,
right,
but
but it, it
it's always
all
been.
it all makes sense. It's like, okay, what is my brand as a leader? What am I known for? What are people going to remember
Mm,
about your short little time span in this particular space?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I did watch what you posted from your retirement. Oh, that made me teary.
Oh, yeah.
That
That
was
was that was an amazing, I mean, like I said, just sitting on the stage and looking out into the crowd, you know. I knew I was going to be strong, no tears, no tears. But when I looked out there, I was like, whoo, okay, it's time for a selfie. It's time for something, to get my mind off of really thinking back.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the amazing work that you did and how fast did 35 years go, really?
Oh, God,
You
it did.
know? Yeah. Yeah. I am inspired by it and I can't give enough praise for our military. So thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, so you've got all this leadership stuff. You've also got this like baller mentality in sport. And you went ahead and became the CEO, founder, director of Fast Chicks, which
Yes.
is a great name. And B, like how cool that we're getting these groups of women to come into the sport of triathlon and try this. Tell me about like what was the spark for that? What made you want to start that? And how did you start it?
Well, the spark was, being in the sport since 2000. Whoo, my goodness. When I would do my races, there would not be a lot of women, and definitely not a lot of women that had the melanin power that I have.
Yep.
So, so when I joined up with a group, it was Black Triathletes Association, and
Uh-huh.
so we were really getting started with more people of color in the sport and providing some resources and some coaching and some techniques and some tips and some meetups. And there came a time where I said, you know what, we need a space for women, because women don't want to be on, well, for the most part, they don't want to be on these all-encompassing platforms asking different questions. Do I wear a bra in my tri-suit? Do I wear underwear in my cycling kit? How do you deal with your hair, and how do you? So I said, you know what? I want to create a space for women that have these questions, and also for women that just wanted to be a little bit faster, a little bit better, than they were before,
Hmm.
and not have it seem as you being condescending on another group or page. You know, so
Yeah, I
taking
totally get it.
yourself to another level, because people will, they will see you like that. They'll be like, oh, she only talks about Iron Man, and some of us aren't doing, and it's it's a little debilitating at times, and it can be condescending, and it can also make you fearful of the sport.
Mm, hmm.
Because you don't have to go directly to 140.6. Let's start with the super sprint and the sprint, and make that all reachable for women. And
Yeah.
so came up with Fast Chix, because at the time, I was a fast chick. Thought I was a fast chick. I was, in my mind, I was fast. And so that's where the quote came up: Fast Chix, it's a mindset and not a pace. In
Oh,
my
that's so
mind,
good.
I'm fast.
So good.
And so, and saying that it's not a pace, now I'm trying to remove that, um, uh, one of those barriers to
Mhm.
people coming into sport. They're like, oh, I'm not fast enough. Oh, look at her. She's running this pace. And don't worry about that. Just get out there and do your thing. Run your
Yeah.
race.
I think
That's
that comes with maturity as you're experiencing your years in racing. Cause I know my whole mindset has shifted multiple times of,
yeah.
I just want to find the finish line.
Yeah, there you go. Right. So depending on where you are, you
Yeah.
got the younger, stronger, fitter. They're like, hey, yeah, no, fast is a pace, and that's what I'm going to aim for. And there's
Yeah.
a place for you too here,
I
bringing
love
it
that.
all together. And so we will be celebrating our 10-year anniversary. Oh my goodness.
I saw that it has been almost
Next
10
year.
years.
It's crazy because
Amazing.
it just started. It was just a Facebook group, 50 of my friends that I pulled over and said, hey, come through,
Uh-huh.
let's do this. And then because the women are typically, type A, I consider myself B plus, but because they're all type A, they want more. Okay. Vaughn, we need to do a race all together. Okay, well, let's do a race all together. Okay, Vaughn, we need kits. Okay, Kristen, can you design a kit for us? Okay,
Yep.
a kit. Vaughn, we need this. We need a camp. And so they've really pushed the brand forward, because I'm just out here trying to give the people what they want.
Yeah. The kits have been beautiful.
Oh my gosh, they pop. And
Hmm.
almost every race that we've been in, part of their social media campaign for the following year after we come through is there's a fast chick somewhere.
That's so
We're either
cool.
on our bikes, we're, standing with our medals. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
we're all over. And those kits just really pop.
I love what you brought up though. It's a safe space because I know that there were so many questions I had about like, what do you do when you're racing with your period? Like, how do you handle that? How do
Right.
you, like, how do you change if you need to change? Like, it's such a, you don't want to ask those questions in front of a big group of people. And sometimes the people that you're doing it with are just starting to, and they don't know. So I think that's so cool that
Exactly.
you've created that environment and then that gets shared on, right? Like, passing the torch, the information, of
It
all the people
does.
that you've taught how to do this. So how do you manage your group? Do you have help?
I do. So I have a board of directors, and
Nice.
yeah, my very close, good group. And they all, we essentially all met through the sport of triathlon.
Mm,
But we've, through the years, we've gone in different directions, but we all come together to, continue to support this Fast Chicks Nation is what we call it.
that's so
And,
cool.
and the spirit of the group is really about uplifting each other and supporting one another. And whether you're trying to do the world majors,
Hmm.
qualify for Boston, going to Kona, whatever it is, or doing your first super sprint, don't
Hmm.
know where to start. That's what we're all about. Just
Yeah.
providing that room, because some people will have you believe that women don't get along. Imagine that. Yeah, we're very competitive and all that. Well, yeah, we are competitive, but we can also be competitive to the point where we are encouraging you to be better, to be faster, to do something different.
Hmm. Yeah. Push yourself.
Exactly.
Um, I remember the first time I saw you guys, I think go to Costa Rica.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I had
Fast Chicks in Paradise.
8,000% FOMO, but how did you even get that going?
So we we had always wanted to do some type of camp, and we started small in the local area in DC, Maryland, Virginia. So we
Mhm.
did little cycling camps, little swim camp, not really camp, but clinic more than
Mhm.
that. And then Eric Updike from Rev 3 reached out to me, and he was like, Vaughn, I got this opportunity. Do you think the ladies would be interested in doing a training camp, out in Costa Rica? I have the support there. And I was like, well, all I can do is ask,
Mhm.
but it sounds pretty damn fun.
Hell yeah.
And so he put it together. We basically took over this resort
Mhm.
that was on the water. We had the support. We had aid stations, and these were just normal aid stations. We had pineapples that were freshly sliced and carved up, and watermelon in little boats. And
Oh, wow.
it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
Uh-huh.
The support. We had women that uh, wanted to go to the camp, and they're like, "Well, I haven't done any open water swimming, and I haven't." I was like, "Come through, we got you." And so women were doing their first open water swim, and just coming together. And we had size sessions where we talked about different things. We
Mhm.
talked about the mental space of being an athlete, the mental space of being an experienced athlete, meaning you're a little longer in the tooth. What is that like? Because things change.
Yep.
And so it really grew from there, and we're trying to keep it going.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. And that must give you a lot of juice, like really like the energy that comes from this kind of group.
It does. It
Mhm.
does. And especially watching the women as they progressed in the sport through the years, just from going to that camp.
Mm.
Now they know that they can do it. They have other women that are out there maybe struggling with the same things or maybe something different.
Mhm.
Everybody's struggle is different, but just coming together, it's just that synergy
Yep.
that really carried through. And it's something that also it bleeds through our races. Whenever we race, we're cheering everybody on. We don't care who you are. We're cheering for you. Yeah, we're yelling at you. We're the last. We're bringing in that last person across the finish line. We're helping you out, and so people they just really get that feeling of enthusiasm and energy that we bring because
Mhm.
we enjoy the sport. We want others to enjoy the sport, and way that you do that is you just bring everybody into welcoming arms.
And people won't forget that. My
Yeah.
very first triathlon was the Danskin triathlon with Sally
Um,
Edwards.
I
And
remember,
do
yeah.
you remember what was special about that? That Sally would be the very last person on the course, no matter what.
Yeah.
So nobody had to come in last. She made sure she was. And
Yeah.
that was my first experience on my college mountain bike, with no
Oh,
goggles.
wow.
And, like it was a slog fest. And I was just like,
Yeah.
why are these women who are so much older than me, like flying past me? I couldn't understand.
Exactly. But because you got your age on your leg, you're like, oh, hell no, Miss
Uh-huh.
60-year-old is not going to. Yeah.
Oh,
But she
yeah, they
does.
did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And I just thought, God, I got a lot to learn.
Exactly.
But it was an experience I won't forget. I'll always remember that one. So
Yeah.
very cool. Okay, so let's talk about what you are doing because you have been up, down, and all over. What is going on with your travel? Like, what are you up to? How are you doing this? What's the secret? How can I do this?
Well, the secret is to have one of your close girlfriends as a travel agent. So then you
Uh-huh.
just you just send her the information through her travel group, and she starts putting together packages. But I really wanted to do something in my year of retirement every month. I wanted to go somewhere because now I don't have to put in leave or PTO or do Mother May I. There's time and space. I can just go when I want to go. It's just
Uh-huh.
mind blown. So I've been to Aruba. I'm headed to Tulum. Um, what else? Jamaica. I'll be in Jamaica again for Cycle Jamaica in November.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh, we have a blast out there. A lot of fun. A
What is
lot.
Cycle Jamaica?
Cycle Jamaica. It's a 4-day weekend, and you cycle for 3 days out of that weekend. They have different distances, and you are provided with the all-inclusive resort. And then you also have police escort.
No way.
Yes. Yeah. So nobody's messing with you. And so, you know, you got a big group of people riding up and down Montego Bay area. You've got rest stops and then different activities. And so we did it last year.
Oh,
And
wow.
they have segments along the route. So you can compete for a segment, a Strava segment. And of
There
course,
you
we're
go.
going to do, but it's typically up a climb. So you're like, what the hell? Um, but it's another opportunity to just join with some folks that you enjoy being with, and you do the hard stuff in the morning, and
Uh-huh.
then it's an all inclusive. So you're
So
having
there's
adult
fun.
beverages. Yeah, there's fun
Lots
afterwards.
of bevies.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Are you stuck for a month of what to do, or do you have your whole year planned out?
I am stuck for a month. So July is our annual meetup. We're doing Tri Louisville, put on by Magic Sports. And so we'll be there
Okay.
end of July. Looking forward to it. I had a great time last year when the race director called up and said, "Hey, Vaughn, we need more diversity in our sport. What can I do to get the Fast Chicks there?" And so when we did it last year, after we were done, we had a great time. I call up Joe. I was like, Joe, when you said you wanted to add diversity, I didn't know we would be it. Like we would be all the diversity for your race. He's like,
Oh
yes,
no.
like this is what I'm talking about. I was like, okay, we got you. We got you. And so I appreciate a race director that's reaching out saying, hey, we want y'all to come because we want people to see that you're out there.
Uh-huh.
And we want to just mix it up with our races. I was like, hey, man, I'm down for it.
Hmm.
So that's in July. August is Saloon. September, September is pretty open. So I got to find something in September.
I got something
Um,
for you.
oh, okay. Uh-oh. And then October's open. And then November is Cycle Jamaica. And then December, I don't know, I have to do something, something big. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Oh,
It's time to travel, baby. I'm retired. You know?
can you write a book while you're doing all these travels?
I need my friends have told me, Vaughn, you need to write a book.
Yeah,
And
that how
in
to
my
retire.
mind, I'm like, who wants to hear the stories? But then
Oh,
because I was sitting there writing my words for my retirement, which all went out the window once I got on the stage. But when I was sitting there, I was like, you know what? I may have something to say. I think people would be interested. So yes, it will become time for me to write that book.
yeah.
Um,
Good.
and to figure out what's going to happen in phase two. I know that Fast Chicks will definitely be a big part of it.
Hmm.
Continue on with my coaching,
Hmm.
and yeah, just keep the party rolling.
I love that. That should be the back of the shirt.
Yeah,
Keep the party rolling.
keep the party rolling.
I think the book that would be most helpful is like how to retire like a badass, you know.
Bam, there you go. I like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
The
And
how-to guide.
yes, step by step.
Retirement for badasses.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we'd all be following that plan.
Absolutely.
All us B plusers.
You got to do it right. That's right. We're all B plus. I refuse to be a type A.
Wow. Well, I love the enthusiasm about, just being open to. Um, for those of you who are just listening and not watching on YouTube, Vaughn's got a really cool quote behind her, and it says, "Don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done."
When
I
you're
love
done.
that.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Because you know what? That race course doesn't give a damn about anything else you got going on.
that's true. It
It does
doesn't.
not care. It does not care if you're tired, if you're fatigued, if your brain's not in it. It's going to give you what it's going to give you.
Absolutely.
You got to stay focused.
Yeah, that mental piece of it it's got to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. How can we help support Fast Chicks and get the word out about, your group? Like what can I do to help, or the listeners?
Definitely getting the word out, increasing our followership. We are
Okay.
also a nonprofit
Hmm.
because for the club, we do not, at this time, we do not charge for membership. And I purposely have it like that because I don't want to change the makeup. I don't, it's working right now. But of course, the support of our sponsors that are out there is definitely helpful with
Mhm.
that. We have some people that will plug in our information for their businesses or their jobs that will, pull money aside for charity donations, that type of thing.
Okay.
And then when you see us out there, cheer us on, become a part of us. We are, again, that safe space for all women.
Yeah.
Of course, we are primarily minority women because that's how it got started. Those are the ones that we really wanted to see uh, get off the couch, lose the excuses, remove the barriers, and really help them to see what it is that they can accomplish
Mhm.
through that support and through the resources that we provide.
Mm.
Yes.
I am part of a women's group called Reinventing the Woman Tribe.
Cool.
This is going to be a really good piece for them to hear too, because I think that this is going to be it's a little bit of an invitation to try something new, you know,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and so I'll definitely share that with that group. Um, this has been fun. I have one more question for you.
Uh-oh. I see the look in your eyes, like just ready.
Vaughn.
I
Well, no,
might have to
you
think.
got this one. No, you've got this one.
Okay.
What makes you feel like a badass?
Oh my goodness. Whoo, what makes me feel like a badass? Being able to get up every day and do the things that I do. My most recent badass event was doing the bike ride across Georgia.
The brag.
The brag.
Holy
So
heck.
403 miles in 6 days, had no idea what my body could do, and my body did it. And even in those 6 days, there was a century ride that, that we did.
I can't even
So,
sit thinking about it.
oh my gosh. So that makes me feel like a badass, knowing that as long as my mind is in there, my body will follow.
Mm.
Now it's got some little tweaks and twerks right now because I'm a little over 50, but we can get through it. We can get through it. And knowing that I've supported my Fast Chix all the way, unstoppable.
You're totally unstoppable. I love this. Where would you like people to look for you?
You can look for me. We have a website, fastchix.org. And also we have a Facebook page, Fast Chix again, and then Instagram,
Mhm.
Fast Chix, and you'll see the little symbol there. That will be listed to let you know that it's the original. It's
Okay.
the one. So that's where you can find us. And
Awesome.
all the races, we are a national organization. So from, sea to shining sea, we have a couple that are up in Canada, but yeah, we're national, and we will be out there doing our thing, at
Yeah.
least showing up. And I always tell women that's the first step. Just show up, and
Yeah.
then we'll take care of the rest.
Do they show up with their lip gloss?
They better. They try to get me to reel back to a chapstick. I was like, chapstick does
No
not.
way.
No, no, no. The lip gloss must be popping. So they know. They
Yeah.
know. And there's been some women that are like, oh my God, I can't believe I forgot my lip gloss. I was like, well, I send you all a packing list. It's in the packing list. I need you to follow it. So I have car gloss, I have bike gloss, I have bag gloss. Yeah. So
I'm not surprised to hear that.
well, and it's for me, I feel better whenever I'm looking the part.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
If I got a
I
little
get it.
gloss on, and for me, I just feel better. And there's still women out there, they're like, oh my God, you put on a full face of makeup. No, I don't. I just need the gloss.
Just your lips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just
I
brightens
keep
up.
a lip gloss in my bike bag. And I'll tell you what, this race that I was in on Saturday, my chain dropped come to the mounting, like hadn't even gotten on the bike yet. And my chain was off. So I had to flip my bike over, put my chain on. So my fingernails and my hands were covered in black grease.
Yeah.
And then I thought, I have to do the whole race like this now. And not only that, both my little ponytail holders came out of my braids. So my hair's wild and flying around, and I'm covered in bike grease. And I was just like, this is not the look I was going for. Right?
But you got your gloss. That's all you
I did have my glass.
that's all you need. That is it.
I know what you mean though about looking the part.
Yeah.
Like you want to look how you want to look, and
And it's, I mean, and it's, it may not be for everyone.
who
That's
cares?
fine,
Yeah,
but it
who
is
cares?
for me.
Yep. Yeah, you're awesome, Vaughn. I have really
Thank
enjoyed our little
you.
chat. Thank you so much. I'm going to make sure to link everything in the show notes so people know where to find all the Fast Chicks and get dialed in. And
Absolutely.
I'm really hoping I get to see you again in person. But for everybody else, go check out this group, check out Vaughn, and carry on, badass people. Mm-mm-mm. There we go.